Hello everyone, today we are with Rasika Bombatkar, that she is from India and currently she's living in the UK, and she's going to tell us a little bit about her story having cancer in India and then moving to the UK. Hi Rasika.
Hi, thank you so much for having me.
The first question that I want to ask you is who are you? Like, who is Rasika? What do you love about your life? What are you passionate about right now? And what is your favorite food?
I think Rasika is, well, on the first instance, people say that I look and I sound like an extrovert, but when they start knowing me, I am actually an introvert, which is trying to be in that space. Um, and then I'm somebody who is just a big listener, so you'll see me listening a lot than and trying to just understand people and then trying to know people. And you mentioned something about favorite food. So, of course, coming from India, I have a huge list of uh, favorite dishes that I can mention because I am biased here, but India has the best cuisine. Let's just agree on that. So I have a huge list, but just to pick one, I would probably say it's a dish called Bengan ka bharta, which in if I were to translate in English, that would be like aubergine curry, not curry, like aubergine dish, which you eat with roti, which is like kind of a bread.
And tell me something because I want to know, like, how was your experience having treatment in India and then doing all the follow-up in the UK? Because that could be very different.
Yeah, I mean, I would say there are positives and negatives both to this story. First, let's of course talk about the positives. The positive is that, there's a system in place, and it is very much accessible and accommodative. So, for example, right now, because I'm just doing the follow-up, I only have to go for the scanning or the blood test, but then the conversation that I have with my doctor is online. So, I feel like that is so much comfortable. You can just sit in your home and then talk to the doctor. Versus in India, of course, you would, spend such a long time waiting and in the waiting area, just waiting for the doctor to come and then your number to come and things like that. And as I said, like this is a proper systematic way. I know when what is going to happen, and I'm already booked for like the appointment that will be next in next 6 months and stuff like that. So it kind of makes me feel that yes, once you're in the system, everything happens very systematically and you don't have to wait much or you don't have to put extra efforts into things. So these are the positives. But the negatives are, of course, my doctors in India were, they used to talk to me like I'm somebody close to them. They would talk to me on personal levels. They would, suggest me some things out of this whole doctor patient conversation. Like they would just talk to me, oh, have you been there? Have you watched that movie? And things like that, whatever. So just to make me feel that, there is this human component and I'm not just a patient. I get also a human being and I can have this conversation with my doctor. So I used to get that in India. I don't get it here. So that is one thing I definitely miss.
Do you know many cancer survivors and how can you describe them in one word?
So if I were to say based on my Indian experience, like when I was in India, I hardly knew anybody. And I think that comes largely from huge stigma and, misconceptions around cancer in India. So, people think that cancer is a disease of untouchables and it is contagious and it's a bad deed disease, stuff like that. So people don't come out, they don't talk that they have cancer. So I didn't really meet people in India who, you know, of my age, say, are coming out and then just telling. So there's very few of them. Versus here in UK, there are huge support groups and networks where you can just go and connect. Experience, I would definitely say like brave because again, as I said, just to talk about it is a very big thing. So yeah, brave would be the word.
And that is, this is a tricky question, but side effects that actually you like about having cancer or about the treatments.
I think this whole cancer experience, what I like about it is it just makes me love these smaller things in life that you in general don't appreciate. Like, just the casual normal things like just going outside, walking, or like just having friends and talking to them, any small things, you just start appreciating life more. And and it makes you understand that there are so many things in life that can make you happy, and there are so many things in life that are uncertain. Brings up new perspective and makes me think that, okay, I've never thought about things like this before in my life, so it actually made me maybe say more wiser.
And what is the weirdest thing or funniest thing someone has told you about having cancer, or something that somebody told you and you thought like, okay, that is silly or that was fun?
I think I can joke about it now. Back when I was actually going through it, it was a pretty serious thing. And I think you heard this already in my presentation, like the whole thing about, that drink cow urine and it will cure cancer. It is so like when I think about it now, it is so funny. Like, can you imagine if I tell this to anyone, people just laugh. And when I presented, everyone was just laughing. They were like, "What?" It is so funny right now, but back when I was going through all of that, it was quite a big trouble. But yeah, I think it's just I would say cultural, or I don't know, it's just a myth that has developed around a lot of conditions and people just go about it. But it's absolutely funny that none of it makes sense, but yet people take it so seriously.
What changes would you like to see in your country or in the UK that can support better the patients or the survivors?
I think in my country, I would say just having more support groups. I don't see this happening much. Of course, there are now support groups that are coming and people are talking about it and stuff like that. But it's still a big stigma, and uh, people just don't, they think that it's better to hide than to, tell out. But because of this, I think, the patient miss out on a lot of information, they miss out on a lot of good resources. So the more you connect to people, the more you know, and the more you feel comfortable about it. So I want that support group network to grow in India.
Why do you think there is so much stigma around it? Like, what is the perception of Indian people about cancer?
I don't know if it's different, but I think, as I said, the first thing is like cancer. As soon as you hear cancer, it's like a death sentence. So if you hear cancer, they think that, okay, this person is just going to die. And then as some parts of India, they believe that it is contagious, so they want to stay away from you. Some people believe that it happens to you because of your bad deeds and something bad that you did in your life. So why would somebody want to be with a person, who is doing some bad things and getting something like this? And then, I mean, these kind of concepts just make it even more difficult of a condition. I think these three are the main points of stigma because of which people just don't want to talk about it.
Which word describe you that doesn't have anything to do with cancer?
I would say jolly, like I'll try to bring out fun in everything, and this was me even before, and I think that's me even now. Like I try to crack some lame jokes and like just to bring the humor out of it, just for the sake of it. And the second would be I'm a bit naughty. I mean, of course, you will not get that in this call, but if you're in person with me, I was like that before. Like I would just do some mischievous things when people are around, and I was that, and I do that now too. So I don't think so. Cancer has anything to do with it.
Thank you, Rasika, very much for this interview.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for having me, and I hope this video reaches to a lot of people in India too, so that they feel motivated about it.